Labs. She is designing it's a system, it's a two-pronged system for generating better quality stuff with AI. She feels like AI has cracked the objective domains like coding, but subjective domains that require taste judgment, you need another layer of preference data on top of that. That's what they are building at Thais Labs. Thais, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show, Thais, Thais. The first time I've ever heard this name, but it's a Greek name. You're not Greek. You have a Greek name, which scores you immense points with this Greek kid from Brooklyn. Welcome to the show.
I'm already up on the other
side. You're starting from a very good position.
Good start. So why do most large language models have no taste? Because when I design something or a founder comes to me and they show me their design, I'm like, yep, that's the intranet from hell. That is the canonical, tasteless, Facebook-looking, intranet with the sidebar and the shadowing. And it just always looks not like slop, but it looks the same.
Same. Yeah.
Same. Why does it suck like this? Because it's a known problem.
Well, and we keep hearing about how smart these models are.
That's exactly, I think, people's frustration is you have models that can solve, cyber hack can solve PhD level math problems, and they can't write a good tweet or make...
Here is the core thesis. AI models are designed to find the most likely next token. On subjective work, that pulls every answer toward the mean. If your product needs distinctive design, writing, or branding, the default output will look generic.
A good design, which, and I think a lot of this honestly goes back to how are these models trained, right? I think a lot of the logic is how do you arrive at the most likely answer of something that should be the correct answer. And in math or coding, that's kind of exactly the behavior you want. But then for something that's more subjective, what's considered great, right? Like in real life, things that you encounter that are hey, this is really great writing or really great design, they tend to be things that are a bit more unique, that are a bit more out of distribution, right? It's not the average. The average is that thing that you're going to kind of not even take a second glance at, that you've seen a lot. And so I think that variety is one of the core things that are missing, but also that nuance, right? I think the other piece that's very weird is the fact that both of you could, for example, prompt for two completely different things, but then the end output would look the same. And
yes.
Why? I'm asking for a totally different use case. Why should this be why should this look the same? And so I think this almost fits to the prompt and fit to the user intent, and almost personalization is almost missing from the model.
Well, and it makes sense in two ways to me. Have you been ever, Thais, to Palo Alto or Atherton?
Yeah, I
driven up and down El Camino Real. It is a wasteland. Architecturally, design-wise, have you ever gone to a rich person's $40 million house? They all look the same, restoration hardware, disgraziad. You can barely keep a Michelin star restaurant below San Francisco. The people who build these things have no taste. Let's be honest. They don't.
For founders, the fix starts by treating taste as a system, not a vibe. Build a curated context layer with specific references that push the model away from the internet average and toward the judgment your product actually needs.
Take everything, you're guaranteed to have regression to the mean. That is the term that exists. So I guess, how do you reverse that? And then who are your customers and how are you working with them?
Both great points. And by the way, I think quickly on the first point of kind of who has taste, or how to develop taste. I think it's very hard, right? Taste is such a rare skill because I think it takes this combination of seeing many things and having that exposure in whatever domain it is. And I think it's impossible for every human to develop taste in everything. There might be one area you pick that you're okay, I'm going to obsess over this specific thing. And for example, half my family are architects. So the side of interior design, they're obsessed over, they have great taste in. They might have less good taste in code because they didn't spend their life perfecting that. And so this process of developing really strong opinions and intuition for what is good or what is right when there isn't a clear right answer just takes a lot of work and trial and error. And so I think we have to find the people that have it to help us go and then train these models and determine what good is. And I think a lot of our challenge now, so we work in two ways. We work half with the Frontier Labs on how do we benchmark their models, eval their models, understand where they're breaking, and figure out exactly how do we pull them more out of distribution into this direction of great, and how do we both fix it from like a capability perspective in terms of more like mistakes that they're doing, or inability to do things like vision or 2D reasoning, which are more foundational, but then also these higher order things of like creativity and style and like aesthetics.
Taste is a decision under ambiguity. There is no single correct label, so benchmarks must capture context, consistency, and the reasons behind a preference. That is evaluation infrastructure, not prompt decoration.
Tastemakers of different domains, like different specialties in terms of design, different media types, different styles. And we purposely wanted to bring folks from like very distinct style buckets too, so that we can have that diversity. And I think it's worked in a really good setup because you have folks that have, to your point, spent years like honing their craft, developing very strong opinions, developing that like critic sense. And honestly, a lot of what they do with us is literally like being a design critic. And that they get to both like be a part of this and be a part of changing. And I think they have the same frustration as we're talking about in terms of slop and being like, I don't want to live in a world where all of it looks the same and feels.
And these are paid. They get paid $50 an hour,
$100
an hour, something like that.
So we pay them, of course, for their time, but I think we've also been exploring some more interesting ways to collaborate with them, both like involving them more deeply in the company. Some folks have been joining full time actually.
Great!
And we've been testing some different things. So even like partnerships.
You're testing
like
this new concept of equity for
no, not that. Like we're testing almost like allowing them to contribute their designs to our index. Because part of it is like we're building this design index. So if they can like contribute their portfolios or things that they've done in the past
and get credit when the LLM does output.
Not necessarily that, because that's like a hard attribution, but more so our search engine. So this like API product that I'm telling you about, that's something that we're testing. Or having these assets also be a part of like lab projects, and so it monetizes a little bit differently.
Yeah, I suggest money.
For sure.
Taste Labs turns expert judgment into data. Paid specialists curate examples, explain why they work, and help build search and API products. Premium output requires domain experts, not anonymous click farms.
Things that would appeal to these specific people, in these categories that have these specific design elements, etc. And it works. That's all I'm saying.
I want to test it.
But it's a super mega prompt. And then I have it go out and I have a cool hunt for me over and over and over again. And so every week I get a cool hunting report of like trends, etc., just because I'm like interested in the world or whatever. So how do you do it? You actually get to hire people to review output from LLMs and then have them rate it on some vectors?
So there's a mix of things. So there's rating things. There's also this like concept of almost like a critique. So imagine if someone's actually like a design critic or a senior designer who's like teaching a junior designer on their team. So how would they almost like critique every single thing they're doing and explain why it's wrong or good? There's also this aspect of actually curation. So like choosing examples of things that are good and choosing examples of things that are bad and explaining why. Or also actually creating things from scratch of like, hey, here's a example of like what a perfect version theoretically of this thing would be compared to what like an LLM was able to generate. So there's all these different data shapes that are helpful in different ways for model training. And then they are also helping a lot of these internal products that we're building. So the index, for example, is something that had a lot of like curation from experts. And this judgment system that we're building of like, how do you verify also if something is, for example, like.
The founder takeaway is simple. Model access is not a durable moat. Curate, verify, and measure response until your judgment becomes a feedback loop. Subjective quality is where differentiation moves next.